it's Elisa Johnson, founder of VibrantlyLive.com, the solution for stressed out and exhausted working moms. Our spiritual life is often seen as a taboo subject in polite company. But why? Is it because we have differing opinions or because it's a topic people feel strongly about? Well, sure. But I take a different approach. I think it's something that needs to be discussed more. It's only in sharing this intimate part of our lives that we can grow and learn more. We are spiritual beings living in a physical body. Our self-care routines must include taking care of that spiritual essence just as much as preserving our physical bodies. But how do you do that? At least with our physical bodies, we can see them and touch them. It seems pretty easy to figure out what they need. We're tired, we sleep. Our stomach growls, so it's time to eat. So on the surface, it may seem like managing our spiritual life and spiritual energy is a little more complex. But in reality, it's really not. Your best indicator for the state of your spiritual life is how at peace you are. Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, what's that mean? So let me explain to you a little bit. I want to paint a word picture for you to help you get the idea. Untroubled, content, calm, free from commotion, at rest. Doesn't your heart rate just slow down a notch hearing those words? That's what we all want, isn't it? But how do you get it? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Well, I've got two strategies I want to share with you. I've been on this quest for more peace for several years now, and these two have been the most effective spiritual energy practices I've found. So here goes. The first one has to do with gratitude. You know the old saying, count your blessings? It's an oldie, but goodie, because it rings so true. This is a foundational piece of the Vibrantly Live system. I have almost all of my clients begin with a simple gratitude journal. The reason this is such a powerful exercise is that it refocuses our attention. Humans by nature tend to look for what's wrong in order to improve it, rather than appreciating what's right. So by shifting your perspective ever so slightly to begin focusing on what's working in your life, it adjusts your entire outlook on circumstances as they come at you. Second, attentiveness. This one's a biggie. Again, when we look at human nature, we're basically selfish. All you need to do is look at an 18-month-old to see this. They want what they want, and they want it now. As adults, we really aren't any different. We just put a more adult mask on it. Attentiveness requires us to be other-focused, to break out of our selfish needs and desires, to look upon another human being and see what they are and what they need. When these two spiritual practices are combined, our spiritual energy increases exponentially. Why? Because we've stopped moping about how lousy our life is and become focused on meeting the needs of someone else. There is power in this way beyond just positive thinking. Here's your Vibrantly Live challenge. What's your experience been? Ever tried either of these? I want to encourage you to think of someone in your life who means a lot to you. How can you begin to step outside of your experience and be more attentive to them? As for me, I make an effort to get up early enough to spend time with my kids before school. They're both more than old enough to get themselves ready, but I like to have conversations with them and just check in during those quiet moments in the mornings. It's a big boost in the right direction for my spiritual life and energy first thing in the mornings. Be sure to share what you came up with below. Until next time, get out there and vibrantly live. Bye.